Thank you, Marie. You know, we love Seattle, and one of the things that makes Seattle great is our library system. We're in a magnificent library here, but we have wonderful library facilities throughout the city, supported by the voters, and Marie was talking about the Libraries for All campaign. And it's very well used, 14 million visits per year. And Seattle is one of the most literate cities in the country, which is a reflection of how much we love books. Circulation of books has doubled since 1998, and in-person visits have risen by 57% since 1998. So the library is well-loved, well-used, and usage has been going up. But we've all seen the effects of the recession. Before I took office as a budget-cutting measure, library hours were reduced. And in the first two budgets we had to put through, we also were squeezing the library budget like we were squeezing every budget. So the collections went down and the budget was reduced. And they've had to take cuts, leaving customers with fewer books and fewer resources, even though more people were using the libraries. As we looked ahead, we were looking at a potential of another $5 million cut in this coming year's budget if the library took a proportionate share of the reductions we'd have to take a look at. And again, books and materials budgets are down 13% since 2009. More than half the branches are closed 2 days a week. People can't place as many holds on books, and it took longer to get a book, and programs for children and families were cut. So we were looking at, once again, fewer books, longer wait times, and potentially even more cuts. That's not the type of library system we want to have. That's not the type of city we want to have. Because again, that access to the public library system, it's not just that we love to read, it's access for people that can't necessarily afford to buy books and don't necessarily have the access to services that others might have. So we asked the community, I met with Richard Conlon, and we began to speak of what would it take to have the library system we wanted. Then we went out and asked the public, what do they care about? In 2010, the library developed a new strategic plan, which involved over 33,000 residents who told us what mattered most to them. And what they told us was more books, more hours, and keeping the library services that so many people used. And we asked the community to tell us how we could address those needs. More than 5,000 people spoke or commented in December 2011 and January 2012 about how we could address the funding problem. So the library board, with input from our city budget office, with close consultation with council staff and council member Conlon, developed a proposal for a library level that would reverse these cuts and invest in more books and more hours. Again, I want to stress this. It's not merely that we're going to prevent cuts in the future, we're going to reverse cuts we've made in the past and get the type of library system that the people of Seattle have said that they wanted. So we have submitted that levy to the City Council for their consideration. We're looking forward to the completion of their efforts, and I want to introduce Councilmember Conlon, who's been a real leader on this issue from the very start. Thank you, Councilmember.